This is a case study of a 1987 Chevrolet Celebrity equipped with a 2.8 liter in fuel injection. The customer concern is the vehicle would die when it was hot and would not restart until after it sat for a while. So this here is a collection of the digital images and the PSD files I had in the testing for it. So I'm going to kind of run through that. First up is the connection. Since it was intermittent, wanted to hook everything up, make sure it was ready so when it didn't start, it'd be ready to go and capture and figure out what was going on, or at least get some direction into which way I needed to go. So start off with have battery voltage channel A. Channel B, the red one here, is crankshaft position sensor. Channel C is the cylinder 1 ignition. This particular vehicle is a waste spark on it, so we have compression spark, waste spark, compression spark. And then on channel D, we're running a current for both the control module and for the injectors. They're powered through the same fuse. So coil current, injector current, coil current, coil current, coil current, injector current, and so on. This vehicle is batch fired on the injectors, so it's firing 3 at a time, and there it's a total of 6 injectors. So next up is this was a file I recorded to get a transition from the crank to start on it. We have crankshaft position sensor here. After it sees the right thing, have our current going. We have obviously our cranking transition to running and then shutting it off, and we have our spark while it's occurring. So I actually got it to act up, and this is what I saw. Have it where the vehicle was actually cranking, but no crankshaft position sensor signal present. And since there was no crank signal present, we obviously had no current and no spark output. To be 100% sure that it was a crank sensor, I actually measured the continuity of the sensor, and with it in the no start condition, the sensor was open. This is a 2-wire sensor that should be about 800 to 1200 ohms normally on it, so there was definitely a kind of no continuity there, so no doubt the crank sensor was bad. Now, if you are a little bit on the observant side, this timestamp on it shows that it's actually earlier than the other one. It was a little bit bizarre on how this happened because the vehicle was running. I was trying to get it act up, and I shut it off to go and get a crank to start transition capture, and lo and behold, I crank it and it did not start. So I suspect more than likely what happened is that since it's a 2-wire magnetic pickup sensor, with it running there was enough amplitude to keep the module going, but once it got shut off, it would not produce enough signal to go and trigger the module. So that was that part. I do want to take a look at another part, so we'll do that in just a second.